First Contact books have a special pull because they combine the thrill of discovery with the challenge of understanding something that is truly unknown. They are not just about meeting aliens. These books are all about holding up a mirror to humanity, mirror to you, the reader, and asking, who are you when faced with something that is utterly not you? So yes, I love First Contact novels. It's one of my favorite tropes in science fiction, and there's so much that goes into it. Of course, we have the deep mystery when we start out reading a new science fiction First Contact novel. Is this meeting going to be peaceful? Are the aliens going to be hostile? Are we going to learn from them? Are we going to grow from it? Are we going to merge with them? Possibilities are endless. I love the communication puzzle also. The degree to which we can hope to communicate with an alien being is explored in many books. Some, of course, just kind of skip over that and aliens start speaking English. Those are probably not my favorite ones, typically. The philosophical mirror that these books hold up to us, we mentioned that already. That is incredible. The scale of change that occurs once we realize that we are no longer alone in the universe, and the universe isn't ours. Now it's a shared place. The emotional spectrum, from the hope to paranoia, the fear, the wonder, it's all there. It's all on the pages of great science fiction First Contact novels. But first, let's talk about some books that may not fit exactly in the First Contact sphere, but I think some of them are some of my favorite science fiction novels, and they're definitely aliens. It's just sometimes we don't get to meet them. This is the case with an honorable mention, Roadside Picnic by Arkady and Boris Strugatsky. Fantastic novel. Aliens came, they could not care less about humans. Never made contact. They came, they left some stuff laying around, and they took off. So the novel starts at that point, and it is a fascinating look at humanity through the lens of losing our significance, our self-importance. Another one is Rendezvous with Rama. In this book, a dumb object story, first one in a series. I do not like the follow-up. This dumb object appears. Obviously, it was built by sentient creatures. The object is humongous. I don't want to go into the details, but a mission is sent. Humans go into what they call Rama, and they find incredible wonders inside. Is there first contact in this book? Maybe, maybe not. Read it if you haven't. It's a great Arthur C. Clarke novel. Another one that I read recently, and this was a discovery to me, was Isaac Asimov's The Gods Themselves. Here we definitely meet aliens, but they're a little bit different. Let's just say it's alternate universe. This is not a spoiler. I'm not gonna go into any depth with these books. I'm just gonna highlight some things, and no spoilers in this video at all. But in this book, the aliens we do meet, even though humanity never really makes proper contact with them, and that's why it's on this side of the list, but fantastic, incredible. Isaac Asimov created such fascinating aliens, and I'm gonna repeat this when I talk about a couple of other books, but these were some of the most alien aliens I have ever read. Fantastic. Trying to figure out as you're reading this, also the great thing about it is show, do not tell at its best when it comes to the aliens. The slow reveals and the reader tries to figure out what these aliens actually are. The Mountain and the Sea by Ray Naylor. His first novel was really one that I enjoyed here. And I think everyone who reads a little bit about this book will know that octopuses play a big part here. So these are our aliens, but they're not true aliens. They live on Earth. They've lived with us for as long as we've been human. Octopuses are such amazing creatures, and this is an interesting look at an alien that is already living with us. Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. This book it's all about the feels. It's all about the atmosphere. It's in some ways slightly similar to Roadside Picnic. We have an area, in this case the area is expanding, where strange things happen. It's another interesting alternate take on that First Contact novel. Fantastic. Last one, and then I promise we're gonna get right into the right top 10 list. Children of Time. In this case, again, everybody knows there's some spiders. in this book, and they're as alien and also in some ways as human as they could be. The evolution of the aliens, the uplift of aliens, the way Tchaikovsky describes it in this book is fantastic. It's one of my all-time favorites, for sure. Top 10 book, Children of Time, excellent story. And the spiders, incredible. You're gonna fall in love with the spiders. You're gonna root for the spiders. Possibly before I get into my top 10 first contact novels, I'd like you to leave a comment down below and let me know what your favorite first contact novel is, whether it comes up on the list or not. Let me know. If it's something that I haven't read, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So yeah, leave a comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you like this type of videos. Let's get into it. They're not in any order. I already showed you the cover, which is stunning. I love the cover art on Solaris by Stanisław Lem. Again, one of my top 10, top 5, top 3, I'm pretty sure, novels of all time. It's also because I read it in the original Polish. I read it many years ago. It definitely helped me grow into who I am today as far as a science fiction lover. This book is incredible. There is a fun, propulsive story that's easy to read, but there's also depth to it. We have a planet that's covered in ocean, and this is ocean that is sentient. The ocean is essentially one entity, one alien with powers, processing powers that are beyond anything humans could comprehend. And this ocean is able to do things that seem very weird. I don't want to get into details. If you don't know, I think it's more fun to read this book. Of course, many people already know what the premise of the story is and what this ocean is able to conjure up. It's truly fantastic, but at its heart, it's a story about a first contact. And Lem was not a happy man, and he was not overly optimistic about the possibilities of a successful first contact. Solaris is a fantastic book, and this is an incredible collector's edition. If you're interested, I talk about this book a little bit more in another video, and I'll link it down below. Let's talk about another book that's on the list, Childhood's End, Arthur C. Clarke. This is a book in 3 parts. Each one is unique. Each one has a different feel to it. I will only talk about first part. There are major spoilers if you get into part 2, where we actually get to meet these aliens, and this book really did a number on me. But in part 1, aliens arrive. They arrive kind of over lots of major cities. They do talk to us. There is contact. And part 3 is really transcendent and written really, really well. This is one of my favorite Arthur C. Clarke novels. And of course, in a sense, we had Rendezvous with Rama. This is the second Arthur C. Clarke that I'm mentioning in this video, and that is great. Here's one, The Mote in God's Eye, written by Larry Niven and Jerry Purnell. This is a book that I liked and disliked at times, but it certainly qualifies for a list of my top 10 proper alien contact novels. Fabulous story. It's a classic also. The aliens are interesting. They're different. Throughout the whole book, we're trying to figure out whether they're hostile or not. Are they out to get us? A really immersive kind of a read. A fairly long book considering when it was written. Great space opera. Good characters. Yeah, I enjoyed this book. It's not one of my all-time favorites. This is not gonna get into a top 10 of sci-fi books for me overall, but worth reading. Another book that I've been talking about recently, because I read it recently, is Pandora's Star by Peter F. Hamilton. Just like Mote in God's Eye, this book is immersive. So we have many different threads that we're following. Not all of them are to my liking, but overall, I thought the book was excellent. And the aliens, chef's kiss, fantastic. Chapter 18 in this book that explores the aliens specifically is incredible. It's something that has to be read. If you have the book, if you're never gonna read it, just read chapter 18. I think you're gonna read the whole book if you do. If you go into reading alien first contact novels and you're trying to find within these aliens human traits, that's a failure. Don't do that, and definitely do not do that if you're gonna pick up Lem's Fiasco. Lem is a fantastic author. I think I just like the lens through which he looks at humanity. And in this case, again, we have humanity with a bit of hubris trying to make first contact at all costs. We have to make this first contact. We have to understand what these aliens are all about. I won't say too much about the book, but I think the title kind of gives away, again, what is really going to happen. And again, Lem's outlook on humanity's prospects overall when it comes to meaningful contact. Fiasco by Lem, fabulous story as well. Great book. Another one, Cixin Liu, Three-Body Problem. Everyone knows about this book. There's a good Netflix series, first season anyway, I thought was good, but do not watch it. Read the book first. Read the books. These are, of course, 3 books in the series here. All of them are excellent. The light is kind of fading on me. All of them are excellent. Book 2 perhaps is the best one, Dark Forest. But here we get aliens, and I think most people know these aliens are not necessarily friendly to us. But the story we are taken on, the ride that Cixin Liu takes us on, going millions of years into the future, is truly, truly transcendent. It's truly fun. This is what science fiction is all about. Ambitious. Now, if you're looking for good character development, do not pick up these books because you will not get that. But if you're looking for a story that really asks some interesting questions and does have some good answers, it's a good one. Now, if you're looking for a story that is fun, a story that is a proper science fiction with quite a bit of science in it as well, but a story that will warm your heart, pick up Andy Weir's Project Hail Mary. Do it before the movie comes out. The movie is gonna be huge, I think. The trailer looks amazing. I like the trailer a lot, but the book was fantastic. This is one of those books that will bring a tear to your eye. The less you know, the better. So I'm gonna stop right here. But Andy Weir's Project Hail Mary, unless you have stick up your ass and you just love a certain type of science fiction books, which there are those readers out there, and that's fine. That's fine. I do have a bit of a stick up my ass about some other books. But I think this is such a fun story. Just extract that piece of organic matter from your butt and pick up this book. It's such a fast read. It's not a short book, about 500 pages, but you'll probably read it in 4 or 5 days. It's difficult to put down. It's so much fun. Such a great ride. I love this book. I love it. Carl Sagan, Contact. How could we have a video about first contact and not have the book that has Contact on its cover? Carl Sagan was my hero. Amazing man, amazing human, and he wrote a great book. Of course, I read this many years ago. I need to reread it. When I think about this book, I really think about the movie because I've watched the movie a few times, but the book is a little bit different. I remember that much about it, and I do need to reread it. First Contact, fantastic book, great author who died way too young, unfortunately. But yeah, Contact. Octavia E. Butler, Dawn. This is Octavia E. Butler getting dark. Octavia is such an awesome writer. I just love the structure. The punchiness of her writing is great. And in this book, we are introduced to fantastic aliens. The first contact here takes place after some huge event happens on Earth, and these aliens kind of save some remnants of humanity. But there is a price to be paid. And is the price too high, perhaps? For our main protagonist, Lilith, a great protagonist as well. I enjoyed reading her. So, excellent book, difficult at times to read. I really enjoyed it, however. I think Whitney in one of her videos just recently said something about this book, that this book is easy to read, but difficult emotionally at the same time.
Her books are both easy to read and incredibly uncomfortable.
Last but not least, Blindsight. Talk about a difficult book. This one is definitely not for the faint of heart. This should not be your first contact novel. No. Read a lot of science fiction before you get into this. Otherwise, you're likely to bounce off of this. This book is an interesting look at humanity, what it is that really makes us human, who is human, who isn't human, at what point do we lose our humanity, because there are some alterations to some of our heroes in this book, and also the aliens here are interesting. There's a lot about consciousness. I don't want to give out too many details. And Joanna talked about this book very recently in one of her videos, and she mentioned the Chinese room experiment.
Blindsight by Peter Watts is a hard science fiction book that explores the intersection between intelligence and sentience, how these two things are not necessarily the same.
This book definitely dives deeply into that. I need to reread it. It's been a while. I remember being confused a little bit at times. It's a heavy read, but so, I think, rewarding, so worth it. So yeah, these are my 10 favorite science fiction first contact novels. I just brought this book out and shot the video. I hope you got something out of it. Please leave a comment down below. What is your favorite first contact novel? I'd love to hear about that. If it's one of the ones that I've read, let me know. If there is one that I need to read, definitely let me know as well. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching.